Good morning. I'm cleaning off my iPad screen with my shirt.
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for
Welcome everyone. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and everybody like the video. First thing you should do when you come in is like the video, because the likes is what tells the YouTube algorithm to share this video to other people that like this kind of content. If you're new here, we take calls live on the radio on a bunch of radio stations here. Totally screenless. Got a lot to talk about today. I'm almost not sure which topic I'm going to start with. There's so much going on. Well, that's the good thing about being here for 3 hours. It doesn't matter where I start. I got plenty of time most of the time.
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
All right, here we go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Well, a lot of people like to live in the world of should, telling everybody what they should do and everything, you know.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show.
The world of should. You should do this. You should do that.
Show toll free.
Typically, those are people that don't do much of anything, telling everybody else what they should do. I don't know about you, but just in general.
Cocaine 1. And now.
Yes, yes. All right, guys. Welcome to the program. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Last day of June, June 30th, 2021, as we count down to celebrating America's birthday. Yes, yes, yes. And what better way to celebrate America's birthday than what's starting today, right? President Trump going to the southern border. You know, what he's going down there for is to complete the Great Wall of Trump. He's going down there with Governor Greg Abbott and promoting the private funding of the wall in Texas, which is a pretty exciting thing. You know, and I was wondering, I'll throw this out to you, because we talk about Ron DeSantis, who's spectacular. What do you think about Trump picking Greg Abbott to run as his running mate in 2024? It just popped in my mind as I was thinking about President Trump's trip. Well, we've got a lot to talk about, a lot going on. Oh my goodness, is there a lot going on? But we're here for 3 hours live each day. We usually have enough time to get most of the things we want to talk about in. Now, I did catch Eric Bolling on Newsmax last night. Oh, man. Did you guys catch Eric Bolling? Eric Bolling is filling in for Greg Kelly on Newsmax all this week. In fact, he was so good last night, I went back on the Newsmax app and watched Eric Bolling's Monday night show. He is so good. Fox News is in big trouble, people. Eric Bolling is better than I even remember him being. I always liked Eric Bolling when he was on Fox, but I didn't realize how good he was until I saw his Monday and Tuesday night fill-ins for Greg Kelly on Newsmax. Twice last night, he called out by name Fox News. He did an entire segment on the Fox News screw-up of not carrying the Trump rally, and he put up on screen the ratings, Newsmax versus Fox News during that time, just to humiliate them. And he also called out by name Chris Wallace as a fake journalist and a Democrat hack. It was unbelievably good. Oh, man. It was spectacular. I really enjoyed it. I really did. And he's going to be there all week. So if you missed Eric Bolling the last couple of nights, tune on Newsmax tonight, 7 o'clock, The Greg Kelly Show. And you can catch him filling in. This is really the beginning of the end of Fox News' dominance. And, you know, there's such an arrogance over there on the political establishment side of things. In fact, Eric Bolling called Fox News fake news last night. He lumped them in with the fake news, which is, pretty nice to see. Pretty nice to see. There's an arrogance with the establishment, and what happens a lot of times, and this is even true, believe it or not, of CNN. When CNN was new, they were totally shut out from the mainstream media. The networks and everything really shut them out, and they had no respect for CNN. They were a little guy, and they were doing things that they didn't approve of, and they were threatened by them. And if you even go back further, when television news was new, the print media, the real journalists are in newspapers, and Fox News, when they came along, couldn't get any credibility. Now they've become mainstream, and now we've got the rise of Newsmax TV. And this hire of Eric Bolling is a huge transition, and I must tell you something. My TV's locked into that now. And I'm supporting Tucker Carlson, don't get me wrong. But other than Tucker, I don't have much use for anything over there now. My television is locked in to Newsmax TV now. It really is. Heather Childress, she's spectacular from Fox. Now we've got Bolling, and a lot of people are asking me how can they get Newsmax is on pretty much every cable system in the country. Not all of them, not as many as Fox, but they're on most of them. But if you don't have it, there's a couple other ways to watch Newsmax TV. One, they live stream 24 hours a day on YouTube. Okay? And I watch them on YouTube most of the time. So they live stream on YouTube. And their app is completely free. And a cool thing about their app, I have the app on my iPad. I have the Newsmax app on my iPhone. And I also have it on my television. It's completely free. They live stream in high definition 24 hours a day on the Newsmax app, which is completely free. And also, all of their shows, they archive up there the next day. That's how I watched Eric Bolling's Monday Night Fill-In for Greg Kelly. And I really don't need any other TV news other than Newsmax TV now. Although I am supporting Tucker Carlson after these revelations have come out about him. We got to support him, but Newsmax is where it is at. And it's very important because, Chris Ruddy is an amazing, amazing person. And I hear a lot of people that are conservative, MAGA, criticizing Chris Ruddy. And that's okay. You just don't know about Chris Ruddy. You know some things about the Clintons and him, but which I'll get to in a second. But Chris Ruddy, in the early 90s, when Governor Clinton was running for office, and when Clinton first became president, there was no internet. Okay, there was no internet. And Chris Ruddy, he was the Breitbart, Drudge Report, Trending Politics, the Gateway Pundit. He was, all these Weasel Zippers, all these Breitbart, all these conservative news sites, none of them existed. There was no, I know Drudge isn't now, but it used to be. There was no internet, right? No internet. There was no Fox News. There was no conservative place to go for news and information. And Chris Ruddy was out there covering Governor and then President Clinton and bringing up huge stories. The Vince Foster suicide was a big one. He did a lot of coverage on that. The scandal with that was a controversy over them moving Vince Foster. It was believed that he had committed suicide in the White House, and Hillary led a cleanup team, like Harvey Keitel and Pulp Fiction, and moved his body to the park. This was all broken by Chris Ruddy, the founder of Newsmax. The Arkansas state troopers who were coming out about Bill Clinton, Danny Williams, which is Bill Clinton's black son with the Little Rock prostitute. All this stuff was Chris Ruddy, and there were so many stories. And there was no internet, no conservative media. There was just Chris Ruddy. We used to have him on the show quite often back in those days. And what he has done with Newsmax, I'm just going to mention here in the beginning of the show before I get into the topics, needs to really truly be appreciated by people. What he has done is amazing. Newsmax TV has been around for a number of years. And when I first had it on my cable, I went and watched it, and it wasn't really that good. They had some mediocre people like Todd Schnitt on, and they had no television set like you know today. They just had a camera and radio studios with a lot of boring, mediocre radio hosts. They should have had the Steve Kane Show in there, but they didn't. They had Todd Schnitt and other mediocre people, you know. And the cameras were bad, the lighting was bad, and I was like, wow, well, this is strange. I don't understand. And now, after the explosion of Newsmax TV on the scene, you know, the day after, the day that was, we all went back to Newsmax, and I had not been to Newsmax in a long time. And when I first turned Newsmax TV on, again, I was blown away at the people they have there and the sets and the professionalism and everything. And it's getting better all the time. And what Chris Ruddy did, no one appreciates. He had on a bunch of mediocre, boring programming by design. And what he was able to do was sneak in under the radar, not be perceived as a challenger to the mainstream media, and he was able to get on all of these cable outlets nationwide, which One American News failed to do and still has failed to do. They've been totally locked out because One American News really came on the scene during the 2016 campaign cycle, and they were carrying all the Trump rallies when the other media were not, and they got shut out of getting picked up on other cable outlets. And that lockout continues today, while Chris Ruddy was biding his time with mediocre, boring programming, not viewed as a threat to anyone, got himself on almost every cable system in America, and then boom, changed everything, gave them a facelift as we're seeing today, and snuck in under the radar. And it's an amazing story. Maybe one day he'll write a book about it. I'd like to see them bring Chris Ruddy back to do like a weekly show or do special reports, Chris Ruddy reports, because the old reporting of Chris Ruddy is stuff, a lot of you guys are new to the scene. You're new to the conservative movement since Trump came down the escalator, and you don't remember all these great days with Chris Ruddy going up against the Clintons. It was spectacular reporting, some of the best reporting that you've ever seen. He should have been given Pulitzer Prizes, you know. So, yeah, I know. And Roger Ailes did good with Fox News, but what Chris Ruddy did was outside of the mainstream. No one realized what he was doing. And Fox News, they're still in shock and in denial about what's going on here. And Eric Bolling joining Newsmax is the beginning of the end of the dominance of Fox News, which sadly has become mainstream media. So this is I was very impressed by Eric Bolling last night. Very impressed. And he has not missed a beat. He had great guests, right on topic on everything, and he was coming out, he was coming out right on the attack, which is what you want. Oh man, I know. I love it. All right, now I'm going to take our first break of the day, and when I get back, I'll jump into some of the issues. Your calls are certainly welcome at 1-888-GO-CANE1. We'll keep it open phones light because there's so much going on. The president's trip to the southern border, President Trump's trip today, and a lot more. We'll keep it open phones light, which means you can't call in and tell me about your dog's flea problem, but you can call in and talk about any of the issues that are relevant in the news cycle right now, and we'll kind of go with that. All right, you're listening to Florida's longest running radio show. That's right, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE1. 888-465-2631. We'll take our break and be right back.
Hi guys, it's Dr. Matez. Now that I've joined the BioStation West Delray, we're not just about making you feel good, we're all about making you look good too. Our practitioners are well trained and experienced in the use of Botox, fillers, platelet-rich plasma, microneedling lasers, as well as any modality out there. We even have a Miami plastic surgeon available for the big jobs. We can now make you look good to match the way we make you feel. So if you want to feel good and look good, call us at the BioStation West Delray at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893. And for a limited time only, if you're a Steve Kane listener, 10% off all cosmetic services. And if you happen to be a Steve Kane cruiser, we're going to give you another 10%. That's 20% off all cosmetic services leading up to the Steve Kane cruise.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, welcome back, everyone. It is 19 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Okay. You, I'm sure, have heard the story of California banning state-paid travel to a whole bunch of states, right? Alabama, Kentucky, forget all the others. They added Florida to the list yesterday. And, you know, what's this all about? You know, the left, the Democrats are low-life people. They really are. And they don't understand really how America works. Okay? They really don't understand how America works, Democrats. You know, the left claim to support diversity and be all into diversity and everything, but they're not. They're into diversity of genders now, diversity that we can't even say they're into diversity of ethnicities, because with critical race theory, they've come on this big anti-white, trying to cancel out whiteness. But they claim to be supporters of diversity, but they're the exact opposite of what's going on. And this travel ban of California state travel to a whole bunch of states, they added Florida yesterday, so it's back in the news, is because these conservative states have taken a controversial position that California disagrees with. And that is, to play on the girls' team, you've got to be a girl. To play on the boys' team, you got to be a boy. Oh my goodness. And, you know, the left, what the left want, okay, what the left want more than anything is for everyone to think just like them, a bunch of pod people. And anyone who doesn't think like them should be canceled. Their lives should be destroyed. California thinks that they can force others to think like them, just like New York and all these other liberal states. And the reality is that liberals have too much influence in this country because they control so much of the media. They control the news, they control television, they control movies, they control the news cycle, they control the internet. They have all this control, and what's freaked them out is they basically control every outlet to thought known in our society, in our modern society, and it's not working. There's still people who don't think like them. and they just can't figure it out. And I know there's all this talk, the red and blue America. The red and blue America. And a lot of people are saying that I saw Tim Pool on YouTube talking about this yesterday, and coincidentally, Ben Shapiro on his podcast yesterday was talking about, they're calling this the cold civil war, a cold civil war, this divide between the left and the right, and all of this. That is not the case. That is not what is going on here. There is very little divide in this country. The liberal viewpoint on these very strange issues, the transgender sports issue is a big one, but the critical race theory is another one. You know, these liberal positions on these issues is the minority position big time. It seems to be a mainstream view because they control so much of the dialogue and messaging. But their views are a minority view. And the reason that I know this is because they control every outlet on it in their cancel culture. They control every form of communication. And I haven't seen any parent with a child in school come out in favor of critical race theory. And I have also not seen Olympic athletes, real Olympic athletes, come out in favor of the transgendered athletes playing in women's sports. Have you? No. The viewpoint of the left is a very strict minority opinion. There is no cold civil war between ideologies in this country. We used to call it the cultural war. Now they're calling it the cold civil war. I just noticed this yesterday with Tim Pool and Ben Shapiro. There's a fake divide in this country. The reality is the vast majority of Americans are united with the MAGA movement, with President Trump. You know, President Trump had somewhere between 35 and 50,000 show up at his Ohio rally. His Florida rally, Saturday night in Sarasota, I am sure will be very similar. It's at a fairgrounds in Sarasota. It's going to be very similar. I want you to think about this. When has a former president been able to turn out more than 12 people? This guy's turning out 35 to 50,000. At multiple occurrences. When I went to Mar-a-Lago on President's Day, he was no longer in office. There were about 100,000 people there. Remember I covered that on YouTube, talked to you guys about it here? Everything they've done, and this guy's turning out tens of thousands of people wherever he goes. They canceled this thing in Alabama trying to cancel him out. He had an appearance in Alabama he was going to make. They canceled it out, but that's okay. Sarasota's not going to get canceled. Ohio's not going to get canceled. Trump will trump them. If the conservative viewpoint was the minority viewpoint, if the liberal worldview in this country was the dominant, even by 1%, President Trump would not be having tens of thousands turning out at every place he goes to. This is the summer of Trump, the southern border trip right after Ohio, and then we've got Independence Day the evening before. He's going to be at his rally. And I expect to see rallies throughout the summer. This is the summer of Trump. And there's going to be tens of thousands at each event. Okay? This has the left, the media, and the political establishment terrified. They thought that the Capitol breach would be the end of the MAGA movement. I learned something on Newsmax that I did not know. And I bet you a lot of you did not know this either. Newsmax spent a lot of time yesterday reporting on this. I call it the Capitol breach, and the mainstream media, the politicians, and the establishment call it the insurrection. Right? They call it the Capitol insurrection. How many times have you heard that? There's about 500 people have been arrested and charged with various crimes involving the Capitol breach. Did you know? I did not know this. Not one person has actually been charged with insurrection. Did you know that? Not one person has been charged with insurrection that entered the Capitol that day. Isn't that something? Most of them have been charged with misdemeanors, trespassing, and things like this. You can look this up on the Department of Justice website. Just Google. I did this yesterday. Newsmax was reporting on it, but I did it just so I could tell you guys how to do it. Just Google Department of Justice Capitol breach charges. And the names of the individuals are all listed there, including the charges. Not one person has been charged with insurrection for the Capitol breach. How can you have an insurrection if there are no insurrectionists? Isn't that something? No insurrectionist, no insurrection. But they thought that that was going to be the end of the MAGA movement. That's why they followed up with that post-presidency impeachment farce. And they just don't get it. They don't get it. And what they don't get is why people support Trump. Oh yeah, they'll tell you they're racist and white supremacist, and they'll find one guy at a rally with a Confederate flag and say this is what the MAGA movement's all about. Nothing could be further from the truth. People in America, for the most part, are hardworking people, and all they want is to be left alone and be able to work, be left alone at work, and support their families and live their lives. That's what most people want. And what the left want is to engineer everything about you and your thoughts. This travel ban from California to a whole bunch of red states over the transgender sports issue. This is about them getting involved in every aspect of people's lives. And the MAGA movement's about a lot of things. But the left, it's more than what I just said, but it's about a lot of things. But think about this, and this will tell you, this California travel ban are all on MAGA states, Florida, Kentucky, Alabama, and others. They say that Florida and these other red states are transphobic, so no ban. Has Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, or the other couple states, I can't remember all of them, have these MAGA states banned state travel to California? Or New York or any of these? No, they haven't. If we are the bigots, the white supremacists, the transphobes, the homophobes, and all these things they're labeling us, why are they the ones that are segregating travel between the states, not us? On these issues, exactly, because we're not that. Conservatives, the MAGA movement, are the most tolerant of all. If you've ever been to a Trump rally, I've been to a lot of Trump events, I've been to Trump rallies. They're the most diverse events I've ever been to that involve politics. It's amazing to me how diverse. And I mean ethnically and everything else. I was surprised at how many Hispanic and black people were at the Trump rallies the first time, because I've been going to Republican events for years, and they look like before Trump came down the escalator, Republican events looked like a golf club in the 1950s Deep South, all white. Except for the people working in the venue oftentimes. And that's not the case anymore. And that scares the hell out of these tyrants on the left. When I went to the CNN town hall a couple years ago with Laura Loomer at a venue where I later went to a Trump rally at, and it was done by CNN and Jake Tapper. Do you know that, I found this out later from a police officer who was a listener working security there, when Laura Loomer and I walked into the CNN town hall after the Parkland shooting that CNN was running, they immediately identified us as conservatives and had eyes on us the entire time we were there. I found out there were other problems too. I'm not going to go through the whole story. I've told it before, but that's the world. Look at what's going on now. The Democrats are talking about bringing back COVID restrictions for the Delta variant. COVID restrictions again? We just got out of this. A year and a half of it. We just got out of it. Even Las Vegas is open and maskless. California is open and maskless. You know, and they're bringing it back. Why are they bringing it back? Because they want control. All right, now I'm going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. Our number, those of you that have been calling in, I apologize for not taking your calls yet. I will go to the calls. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1. 888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. This is Brian Craig. I'm in studio with Debbie from I Will Advisors. She has an incredible new service to tell you about called I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates and how are you helping seniors?
Well, Brian, over the past few years of owning a Medicare insurance agency, we've learned that there's a huge need for Medicare advocacy, that a lot of people don't have a child or a spouse that can assist them with their medical needs, and that's where we step in.
There's a lot of things that seniors need help with. Prescriptions, doctor's appointments, things like this. How do you help them with that?
If you're having a problem at the doctor's office, having problems scheduling an appointment in a timely manner, we can step in. If you're having issues at the pharmacy, having problems refilling a prescription, or feel that you're being mischarged for something, you can contact us and we will step in. Even if you're at the hospital and you feel like you're being neglected, we'll be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course. We'll assist in anything to help you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that and even help you if you're in the hospital. Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214, or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. If you're on hold, stand by. So they're bringing back COVID restrictions for the Delta variant and all this stuff. There's a poll that came out today. 57% of Republicans say the pandemic is over. Just 4% of Democrats say the pandemic is over. In fact, most of that's in the new poll. I hear them say, we're in the middle of a pandemic. No, we're out of it. We got through it. We're survivors. And bringing back the COVID restrictions are for a number of reasons. One, it's to be able to keep Biden out of sight and out of mind. The more he's out there, But it's all also about this divide. The travel restrictions from California are a divide. The mask is a divider. I go out and about. I see people without masks. I see people with masks. And everything about that person. The mask tells you everything you need to know about that individual. I don't even have masks anymore. Got rid of mine. My wife threw them all away. And we had some very nice ones that were made for us by my mother-in-law, that made masks for us at the height of the pandemic. And my wife threw them all away. We don't have any masks anymore. What about you guys? Do you still own a mask? No, I don't even own a mask anymore. Got rid of all of them. I did not keep them as reminders. I don't need that reminder in the future. But I don't have any masks anymore. And I went to get one because I wanted to keep. I was going to keep one because my mother-in-law made me this really cool Star Wars one, and I thought, I'll keep it. I'll throw it in a box in the garage, and in the future, our grandkids will remember the pandemic, and it's gone. My wife threw them all away. That's just fine with me. But bringing back the COVID restrictions is to further the divide in this country. They're trying to put us at each other's throats, don't you see? Ben Shapiro and Tim Pool talking about this cold civil war yesterday. It does not exist. This is a false thing that's being pushed on us by the left and the political establishment to put Americans at each other's throats as we approach the 2022 election season to cause a divide among people. There's a liberal business down the street. There's a marina down the street from the radio station that's on the Intercoastal Waterway, because we're only about a mile from the beach where we broadcast from. And there's a marina down here, very liberal business with huge signs about mask restrictions throughout this entire pandemic. And I noticed this week there's no more mask signs there. And those are hardcore liberals at this marina down the street. I drive by there every day on the way to the radio station. And that's nice to see. And I watch a lot of people on YouTube out in California and in Las Vegas, no more masks, and everything else. And they're so happy because they're free again, and they're trying to bring this divide. So everybody knows who the MAGA people are and who the Democrats are. That's what the mask does. All right, let's go to the phones. 39 minutes after the hour. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's K-A-N-E and the number 1. 888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, Brian, Robert in Kentucky.
Hey, Robert, what's up?
Hey, just a couple of things. I heard you talking about the transgender, or the Miss whatever, the sports and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Miss Nevada?
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah, I know about it. I know. I mean, they got Miss Nevada is a biological man who's transgender. The transgender things are, before I was married, I was down with some friends in South Beach, in Miami Beach, and we spent the weekend down there, my friends, and we were partying all weekend on South Beach in Miami, and this was the height. This is before Versace was killed. Versace was down there and everything back then, movie stars and everything. And I remember I met this girl, this woman, actually, a bartender in a bar, picked me up. And that area was known for having transgendered people. And she was like, really, I mean, she was a little bit above my normal level. To get picked up by a woman, and I was a little suspicious of it. And she says, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, am I a woman? Am I really a woman? And she grabbed my hand to prove to me that she was really a woman, if you know what I mean. And, and who would have thought that would be kind of like mainstream now? This thing, the beauty pageants are over. The idea of Donald Trump was smart to sell his interest in the beauty pageants. When beauty pageants were a thing, because they're out now, what was the purpose of a beauty pageant?
Yeah, it was to lift up women.
Not lift up women, no. what a beauty pageant used to be, Miss America, Miss USA, and all this stuff, the purpose of the beauty pageants were to crown Miss America, Miss USA, Miss Nevada, Miss whatever, Miss Kentucky, Miss Florida, to find the textbook example of an exceptional woman in every way, and she gets crowned, right? Now it's become like a freak show. Beauty pageants are out now. So why do you think they have a transgendered Miss Nevada? Is that going to be Miss America's pageant or Miss USA? I don't know. But why do you think a transgendered person was crowned Miss Nevada?
Because it's their agenda, man.
No, it may be a little bit of that. The main reason is to try to make the pageants relevant again. No one cares. Beauty pageants, are they even televised anymore? They used to be big network events, and now I don't even know if they put them on TV anymore, or they don't go on the networks. They don't have them on the networks. Yeah, they're gone. So now that they have a transgendered Miss Nevada who's going to be in the USA or a Miss America pageant, I don't know which one, it doesn't matter, it makes the pageant relevant in some way because people are talking about it again. You know?
Point to make to you though, do you know they're starting a lockdown, trying to do that again? I think a lot of it's because Trump's doing rallies again too.
Yeah, they may not want to have him do some things. Well, they canceled his Alabama rally. He was going to be speaking on a battleship, and local corrupt official canceled it. You can't get political here. Oh, really? Everything a politician does is political. You know, these Miami mayors and stuff at the press conferences at the building collapse, that's politics with their masks on. You know, everything a politician does is politics. I don't care if they're going out to buy a gallon of milk. It's political. That all of us. But Donald Trump, he's political. You know, Biden's going down to Miami, supposedly to hobble down there with his walker at the collapse site. That's political. You know, and it. But now, you know, the transgender Miss Nevada, while it will get people talking about the pageant, it's going to turn people off of the pageants because most of the pageants, so far as television watching, is because of men and teenage boys and their fantasies. You know, that's why the young guys watch these things. Who's going to watch that? Really, I mean, think about it. Who is going to watch that? And I'll tell you this. I've been around transgendered people, okay? And just because of the business I'm in, radio is part of show business. So there's always gays and others in show business. And I know what a lot of you are thinking. Miss Nevada, this transgender, looks like not bad. You've not seen a transgendered person up close, okay? If you see them in person and up close, in the light, okay, you can tell. They've got the Adam's apple. The hands and the veins and other things are giveaways. And, you know, I have a mutual friend of Kendall Jenner. Okay? Or not Kendall Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner. Got my ladies mixed up. You know, the person formerly known as Bruce Jenner. We have a mutual friend, and he's very tight in this circle. And I told him Bruce Jenner looks like Janice Dickinson. Remember Janice Dickinson? She used to be the Cosmo. If you saw Miss Nevada in person without the glamour shots and everything, you would have Miss Nevada wouldn't look like in the pictures. You would know a mile away that was in person with your own eyes that was a man. Yeah, I know. I just can't imagine anybody wanting to watch that. You know, what's the highlight of any beauty pageant?
Yeah.
The bikini, the swimsuit, right? The swimsuit competition, right? So, who wants to watch a swimsuit competition with a transgendered person in it? You know, I mean, you know, if anybody watches, it'll be just to be able to see if they can hide everything. And they'll be, they do that with tape. But the things that give it away in person, Adam's apple and the wrist and the hands. Give it away. All right, take care, Kentucky. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
My name is Sandra.
Hey, Sandra.
Hi, I was just calling about your discussion about the transgender.
Uh-huh.
If they do have the Miss America, Miss Universe, or whatever the other one is here in the United States, if the transgender person makes it in the top 5, and if transgender does not win, then that they will make that into a type of a racial issue or something.
Well, it would be a gender issue, not a racial issue.
Yeah. Gender issue, that's what I mean.
Yeah. It's so strange. I remember Vanessa Williams was the first black Miss America. And remember, they took her crown away because before she was in the Miss America pageant, she was in Playboy. And she had actually posed in some photographs with George Burns. And I don't even remember George Burns. George Burns were in these photos. And I don't know if she posed for Playboy or if those were just photos she did that made it to Playboy after she became Miss America. And she was out, because that probably wasn't the right thing to do, but she was out because these pageants had a standard. Women in these pageants were supposed to be good girls that every man would want to marry, that were perfect in every way. And because she had done pornography, so they said, she lost her crown. And now they're going to have someone competing who was born a man, who I don't know, has Miss Nevada gone through the surgery yet, or does Miss Nevada have a penis? Does anyone know?
That's what I was wondering.
No, I'm serious. I think Miss Nevada probably has a penis that they tape back. Silence of the Lambs could not be made today. Silence of the Lambs, one of the great movies of the 90s, huge hit. They got a new TV series now on it called Clarice, which is not that good. But I've watched a few episodes. I'm a big Silence of the Lambs fan. But do you remember what Silence of the Lambs was about?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell people. The Silence of the Lambs was about an insane serial killer who wanted to transition to a woman. So what he was doing, Buffalo Bill is what they called him, he was kidnapping fat women, starving them in a well, and then skinning them. And he was using their skin to make a bodysuit so he could transform into a woman. That's where the butterfly reference comes from. They could not make that movie today. It would be considered trans. You can't have a transgendered person as a serial killer in today's society. That can't be allowed.
It would be considered a hate movie.
It would be considered transphobic, and Hollywood would not be honoring people in it with Oscars like they did when that movie came out. And that's the way it is. I mean, things have changed. Society's always changing, but this is one that's a little too far because it's just people are turned off by it.
They don't want women to be women like they used to be back in the 50s. They don't want men to be men like men are supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let me tell you something. If you are like a single guy in your 20s and 30s and you're heterosexual, you've got the whole world open to you, because I see these guys that I see that are the dating age these days are so not into girls. They're into their Snapchat and their Instagram stories and this stuff. You could have, if you're a heterosexual guy and you're in the millennial age, you've got your pick of the litter. Because the guys are so effeminate today. They're not gay, but they're just not interested in girls. They're interested in their like count.
They don't know how to date like we dated when we were kids.
They're not even interested in dating. They just look into their phones all day. They date their phones. That's who they're in a relationship with.
The liberals are feminizing men and emasculating women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a real, yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. And I'll tell you what proof of that is. There was no baby boom during the pandemic. they thought there would be a baby boom, and there's actually been a population growth decline over the last year.
More of it if they put us back on lockdown like they did.
Well, there's a couple things. The reason that there is a decline in the birth rate this last year is because it's not because of the pandemic. You would think that would increase it. That was the prediction. The reason that there is a decline in the birth rate is there's so many gay people now. And gay people don't reproduce. They don't have pregnancies among the gays. Not on, unless something special happens, and that's a large part of it.
And I was going to tell you too, YouTube censored.
Oh, I don't know. I can't help you with that. All right, hey, take care. We got to take our last break of the first hour. Those of you on hold, don't go anywhere. All right? We'll get back to our calls after the break. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be back right after this.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. I just love Dr. Gupta. I've been seeing him for around 3 years. He always has time for me. He never does unnecessary work, and his prices are very affordable. And if you need implants, go see him because he has the best prices around. Let me give you the number. Write it down. It's 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. 4633, BrightonDentalCare.com. He's just the best.
Hey guys, Brian
Be right back,
here.
guys.
I have the MyPillow slippers at Mike Lindell. He's right. These are the most comfortable slippers I've ever worn. And you can get them for 40% off at MyPillow.com with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. One of our listeners called in on the air and told us about his experience with the MyPillow My Slippers.
Brian, I have the MyPillow slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic slippers.
Really? Which ones do you have? Which style do you have?
The fur-lined one.
Oh, the slip-on fur-lined ones?
Yeah, inside, outside.
What is neuropathy and what are the symptoms?
Well, the nerves in your feet start going bad, and it affects your balance, and it's painful.
So you're wearing the MyPillow My Slippers, which, by the way, 40% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and it's helped with your neuropathy.
Yes, it is. It's much. I have to wear slippers at home. I can't go barefoot or even with socks on.
Wow.
So I have to wear that. And I also have the MyPillow pillow and the MyPillow mattress topper and the.
That mattress topper is unbelievable, isn't it?
Absolutely. My wife loves it.
Oh, man. I know, they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by the way, when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, 40% off the MyPillow slippers, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with it. So it's great. Well, that's awesome. Order your MyPillow My Slippers 40% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWE.
All right, and it's 6 before 7. Back to the phones. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. This is, of course, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. Good morning, caller. You're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian. This is Rolanda.
Hey, Rolanda. What's up?
Yeah, I was listening at what you guys were talking about with respect to the pageant. And you did mention Vanessa Williams. What happened with her was, I think she was like probably in her late teens or around the early 20s. She did some risque photos, I guess to make some money on the side or whatever while she was
I don't even think they were completely nude. Were they?
Yeah, they were.
Oh.
Yeah, she did some wild pictures. Somewhat.
I remember George Burns being in them.
George Burns was in the People magazine. She did have a publicity photo with him at the time.
Oh, you followed this pretty close. Well, I guess she was the first black Miss America. It was a big deal to you.
Yeah, it was. And she came out, and those photos came out. Well, she had an agreement, apparently, with this guy that she did the photos with. And he promised her that he would not, sell the photos or do anything with them until she became Miss America. And I think she approached Playboy first. And then Playboy found the photos were probably a little too risque or not that, kind of proper-like. Because, Playboy had a reputation.
Well, I don't think... You think Miss Nevada will be doing any totally nude photo spreads?
But
I doubt it. Who wants to see that, right?
The guy ended up selling the photos to Bob Guccione in Penthouse.
Oh, okay.
That's how that whole thing got started.
See, I was a kid back then. That was like, what year was she Miss America?
She was Miss America around 1984.
I was like 12. I was like 13 in '84. So.
Suzette Charles was in her place, and we all were watching that because let's face it, I had just come out of high school. I was entering college at that time, and it was a sense of pride for us.
Well, I'll tell you, Vanessa Williams was probably the most beautiful Miss America ever.
Talented, really.
She's a very good actress, and and you could make a case. What I wonder is, that controversy actually might have helped her career, if you think about it.
It helped it a whole lot. But you were talking about how the guys have become effeminate. And I hate to say it, they say the girls are somewhat bizarre too.
Oh yeah.
Themselves and into their clique. My brother always described.
Their clique with a K. Yeah.
Yeah, he's okay. He says he's seen more girls making out on the bus than he's seen man or woman now. He said that's just the way it is now.
Yeah, when I'm out in public at shopping at the malls and stuff. I see more young couples that are gay than straight, holding hands and stuff. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, the Chinese are viewing it as a problem. They want their boys back. So they realize they made a mistake by killing up all those girls at one point, and now they're like trying to, bring back masculinity because they need some war toys at this point.
Well, there's something to be said about it, and what liberals don't understand is everyone has their role. There's a masculine role and there's a feminine role. No, they don't.
They came on board saying, we don't like those old roles that are rehearsed.
Yeah.
So we all, they don't like that. They want everybody pansexual. They want everybody, this.
And that's a reason why there's a reason why Hillary Clinton never became president, and there's also another reason that Kamala Harris will not be elected president, if Biden has to resign, and it's a similar reason. Hillary Clinton is like a man, and people don't like that. What people like, she sacrificed both her marriage and really, I think, put Chelsea, her child, through a hell of a lot for personal gain.
And you know what? I think she did, and I think in many ways Chelsea sort of came along and rebelled.
Yeah, well, I think, and I give you an example of what I mean. Like, now this is not the case with Donald Trump, okay? But Ronald Reagan had a very bad relationship with his kids. Ron Reagan Jr., and his twisted daughter that did the Playboy, Patty, And the reason that he had a bad relationship with his kids is because he was focused on career his whole life and didn't spend much time with them. President Trump's even talked about this when he was younger. He, he's tight with his kids now, but when he was younger, he ignored his family. He said a lot for business. And Hillary Clinton did that. And people don't respect a woman that ignores her family for career. And Kamala's problem is everyone knows how she got to where she is, and people don't respect that. And I'll tell you, I saw it's not new, but I saw a photograph yesterday of Kamala with Willie Brown when she was dating him. It takes a special kind of sadistic person to go out in public with a married man as his girlfriend, when everyone knows he's a married man and you're his mistress and you're going to official events. Sometimes the wife is even out. People have no respect for her because of that. She is a very low moral character.
And to be honest with you, it takes a lot of, I would say, a person has to be really immoral. I have to wonder, and I'm not saying that her parents didn't try to raise her a proper way or whatever, but you have to be really skanky, and you have to.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you know, that's why Katie Couric and all the rest hated Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin, now her life has fallen apart a little bit now, her marriage, because they became rich and famous and they handled it like lottery winners. But when Sarah Palin came on the scene, she was governor of our largest state, Alaska. Alaska's a lot bigger than Texas. And she had no political connections. She didn't go to the Ivy League. And she had a healthy marriage and family life. And they said, we can't allow this. Women that reach this level have to be skanks, or they have to be sellouts like Hillary.
Right. Though she was intelligent and though she was kind of, quirky, she spoke like an American, and she was intelligent.
Yeah, and she was a threat to them, just like Kristi Noem.
Exactly. See, that's the thing about this country. We don't mind our women being unconventional, but Brian, we don't want automatons. We don't want male women. We just don't. That's just a
or Kamala Harris types. You think Kristi Noem has become the governor of South Dakota because she was having an affair with a married man who was politically connected like Kamala?
But here's the problem with, and another thing about Kamala, I don't like, Brian. She comes out with all this feminist, diatribe and all this feminist talk, and she acted like the perfect skank all of her life. I'm not saying all feminists are, moral and whatnot, but for her now to, espouse, to say the word misogyny and whatnot, I'm like, you came up in a misogynistic way, pandering to the
Well, if Kamala came out and at some point and said, there was this casting couch Harvey Weinstein-like thing going on in politics, and I have regret, but I'm a minority woman and I couldn't make it, and I did these but she's not. She's like, she thinks that what she did makes her a feminist.
And
she thinks she's in a power position.
You watched the Kavanaugh hearings, and you saw her pander to Kavanaugh's accuser. It really made you sick because you knew better. Those of us who seen her in Ebony and Jet magazine with Willie Brown. It has made us all want to, curl up.
And I'm telling you, women do not like women do not like women who date married men. Because this wasn't just like some random affair. She was openly the man's girlfriend. He had a harem of women. She was one of about 3.
This way, Brian, we might be able to tolerate a sister or a sister who might fall into that. However, we don't like people who are willy-nilly bold about it.
Yeah.
Destructive, and that's what Kamala represented.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't really think she's all that good looking.
No, she's not. To be honest with you, no.
No, I mean, I don't know why people think she's all that gorgeous and everything. I don't think so. No.
Brian, in some black circles, in some African American circles, all you have to be is a shade of a color. That's all I got.
I mean, a shade lighter.
And usually they consider you good looking. You got that in the black.
Oh my goodness! I just looked at the clock and I am so late for the break. I got to run, Verlanda. All right, take care. We'll take our break for it's supposed to be for the top of the hour. A little late. We'll be right back.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires, and when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going around, man. Everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man. And Mike's a great guy, man.
Oh, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
Hi guys, it's Dr. Matez. Now that I've joined the Biostation West Delray, we're not just about making you feel good, we're all about making you look good too. Our practitioners are well trained and experienced in the use of Botox, fillers, platelet-rich plasma, microneedling lasers, as well as any modality out there. We even have a Miami plastic surgeon available for the big jobs. We can now make you look good to match the way we make you feel. So if you want to feel good and look good, call us at the Biostation West Delray at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893. And for a limited time only, if you're a Steve Kane listener, 10% off all cosmetic services. And if you happen to be a Steve Kane cruiser, we're going to give you another 10%. That's 20% off all cosmetic services leading up to the Steve Kane cruise.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection.
Oh, marijuana is terrible.
Estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel.
On top, not only is marijuana, it's really the worst of the worst drugs. It has every negative health effect that cigarettes have, marijuana have.
With 9 offices throughout South Florida, from
on top of the
to Coral Gables.
drug addiction issues with it.
855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now, here's Steve.
All right, welcome. Hour number 2 has begun. 8 minutes after 7. I'm Brian. This is The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. It is the last day of June, people. That's right, that's right. It's too bad the 4th of July isn't on a better day, so we can make a... It's hard, we will be here live Monday. July 5th, the Steve Kane Show will be live on July 5th. I know a lot of America takes July 5th off. We are not. We are going to be here live on Monday, just so you know. Gwen Berry, the Olympian, who's out there with turning her back on the flag with all this Black Lives Matter stuff. She gave an interview. I was going to play the interview. I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to tell you what she said. She is the most self-centered, arrogant person I've seen talk about such an issue. She thinks that when they played the anthem, when they handed out the medals the other day, that they set her up. It's all about her. They didn't do anything. You barely made it. You're in 3rd place. And I saw yesterday, I looked this up. I never heard of hammer throwing before. I didn't realize, it's not like hammers you get at Lowe's or something. It's like, I don't know, did Bruce Jenner do the hammer throw as part of the triathlon, or whatever he was in, whatever that competition was? They spin around in a circle, and they have it in their hands, and they fly around in a circle and let it go, and it's like a shot put however far it can go. And I saw a wide shot of the whole podium as she was turning her back. And I saw the winner that won the gold. Her name is Deanna Price. And she is a big girl. I was like, what the heck? And I was surprised. So I went and looked up Deanna Price, who won the gold. And she broke like records in this competition. No one's talking about her. In fact, she had already qualified and she continued to compete after she was already on the Olympic team. And then she went out and broke a record. And I saw her do it. And Gwen Berry is not good enough to be an Olympic athlete. Not one that wins. She came in third place competing against other Americans. You know, it's a lot of, like, if you ever watch American Idol, when they do the audition phases, and a lot of these young people that compete on American Idol, they think they're so good and they get out there and they don't even make it by the first round. They're great when they're home alone in their choir. You know, they're a big fish in a little pond, but when they go on American Idol and they're competing against the best in the country, they look mediocre and many of them sound as if they can't even sing. That's Gwen Berry, okay? When she goes to Tokyo and she's competing against the greatest from every country in the world, she's not even going to get a medal, okay? And you look at her physically compared to Deanna Price, who's our number one in this competition. The number one in the hammer throw for Team USA is Deanna Price. You look at her, and then you look at Gwen Berry. Gwen Berry does not have the physical capability to compete in this competition at a medal level in the Olympics. She's too small. And so she can't make it as an Olympic athlete, so she's trying to set up a living as a race baiter, is what she's doing. And you know what? She's going to be very successful at it. She already has some defund the police organization sponsoring her, which is really what her whole goal was. And I listened to this interview with her, and she says that if you really study your history, you'll know that the Star-Spangled Banner is a racist song about black. They have some story. You know, the Star-Spangled Banner was a poem by Francis Scott Key that was turned into our anthem about our great flag. And they have some verses from the poem that no one's ever heard, that are not a part of the song. And they say that the song is racist because of these verses that are not part of the song are. I don't know. You know. I bet you Gwen Berry does not even know what the Star-Spangled Banner is about. You know? But she's got a problem with it. You know? And whenever they open up Washington, D.C. again, which I don't know if it'll ever be reopened, not while the Democrats are running things at least. You know? Maybe that's what Trump should run on in 2024, is going to reopen Washington. One of the attractions at the Smithsonian that has the longest of lines is the actual flag that inspired Francis Scott Key to write the Star-Spangled Banner. Have you guys ever seen this? It's really cool. I've seen it. You wait in line in front of this building. It's a long line. You get in, and they have it's a massive flag, I guess because it flew high above the fort, of the Star-Spangled Banner. Was like one of the biggest attractions at the Smithsonian, next to like the Declaration of Independence and Constitution. It's probably the single most sought-after thing to see. When they reopen Washington, that may not be the case anymore. They may not even allow that attraction to reopen, these Democrats that are running things. But no one's talking about the real story with Gwen Berry. She's a mediocre athlete. She does not have the ability to not only win a competition at the Olympic level, she probably will not even medal. I'm serious. She probably will not even medal. And she is trying, so there's no endorsements for her. So what she's doing is she's trying to get endorsements, and she's already got a sponsorship going the Kaepernick route. And no one's talking about this. They're acting as if, you know, they're either acting as if she's got a legitimate grievance. And what she's doing, she's the one that really is truly racist against African Americans, because she is exploiting the civil rights movement. She is exploiting black people, not because she cares about any of these things. She doesn't believe any of it. She's just trying to make money off of it. And she's fanning the flames to make money off of an issue. She doesn't even know what the Star-Spangled Banner is about. She may not even know what a banner is. I saw her in an interview. She's not the brightest bulb in the bunch, I'll tell you that. All right, now listen, we took that top of the hour break a little late, so this is a short segment. I want to take this break on time so that we won't have a backup of breaks as the show goes forward. So we'll take our break. It's 15 minutes after 7. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our break and be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
It's here, the hot weather. It's in the mid-90s in the middle of the day, and that's what the actual temperature is. The heat index, much higher than that. That means your air conditioner is going to work harder and harder, driving up your electric bill. And on the line, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to save you big, big money on your electric bill. Tell them how you're going to do it, Scott.
Hey, Brian. Well, we do it with the radiant barrier installation and making sure that none of your air conditioning ducts are leaking into your attic. But I have Rebecca on the line with me, who's a longtime Steve Kane listener, and we had the pleasure of going up and doing a whole attic package for her at her house on Wednesday of this week. And we put all new ducts in for her, radiant barrier, and all new installation.
Go.
She just wants to tell you how her experience was.
Good morning. I wanted to let you know that this morning, first of all, the people that came out, his crew, were very, very polite, and they did the work. It's a very difficult job to go up in an attic, pull out all the old ducts, come in and put in all new ducts, extra additional ducts to make my system work better. I'm in the construction industry. I'm an architect, so I'm familiar with what the cost should be and how much time it takes to do everything. And let me tell you, I was very impressed, and my attic looked like a spaceship up there with all new ducts. They took out the metal duct that was insulated and leaking on my ceiling, and they put in flex duct, which is what we use now in the industry. But let me tell you, what I paid for the entire package should have cost just to remove the old ductwork and install new ductwork, and I got everything for less than what I thought.
Well, that's amazing. And when Scott from Cut My Kilowatts brings that radiant barrier into your attic, it pays for itself, because what it does, it cools off your ceiling, cools off your attic, keeps that hot Florida heat that's well over 100 degrees in your attic off of your air conditioning ducts, which means your air conditioner works less to keep your house cool and comfortable for you, which means you have lower electrical bills. It works. Listen, guys, give Scott Cut My Kilowatts a call. His number's listed at SteveKaneShow.com, as is his website if you miss it. His number, which rings directly to him, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. That's Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, I looked up the part of the original Francis Scott Key poem that they say is racist. I'll share it with you in just a moment. Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Okay, so Gwen Berry, this mediocre athlete who's not going to medal in Tokyo, She gave this interview, and she says, if you know your history, you'll know the history of the Star-Spangled Banner is racist. And, of course, the follow-up question is, well, I don't know my history enough about the poem. Could you please recite to me the portion of this poem that is so racist you're turning your back on our great anthem and flag? I don't think she'd know. But I did look it up. I found an article. I did a quick Google search during the break. It's in the Washington Post, liberal source. But this is it, okay? The end of the third verse that is not a part of the song. I love how they find things offensive. They find the song offensive, but the things they say offend them about the song are not in the song. You know, there are lots of songs out there, that the lyrics have been changed on before they get released. Do you know Simon and Garfunkel, Hello, Mrs. Robinson? Do you know that originally what that song was? That was written long before the movie was made. It was about Mrs. Roosevelt. Hello, Mrs. Roosevelt. You know, and so if Eleanor Roosevelt did something in the past that was racist, would that cancel out Mrs. Robinson? It seems strange to me. But this is what the Washington Post says. This is the second half of the third verse that is racist, they say, that is not a part of the song. So how can the song be racist if it's not? No refuge, this is the part of the poem. No refuge could save the hurling enslaved from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave, and the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. So this reference to slave, which is not a part of the song. Where that came from in the poem, I hate to I don't want to sound like I'm trying to tell you guys I'm smart and know stuff, okay? Because I did not know this part of the song that they find racist all the time, so I just looked it up. I'm learning about this for the first time. But what the British did in the War of 1812 was offer slaves freedom if they fought for them against the Americans. So that's what the reference to the slave is thought to mean here. Although there were some slaves, blacks, who fought for the Americans, okay, as well. And those slaves that fought for the British and survived were taken by the British and moved to, it says here in the article, and the British, after the War of 1812, let them live as free men in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, I don't know, you can call that freedom, I guess, Trinidad and Tobago. So Gwen Berry, go to Trinidad and Tobago, and you can be on their Olympic team. I haven't heard things so stupid in my life. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, Brian.
Yes, Andrea, what's up?
Good morning. So, the reason why the other two athletes are so big compared to Ms. Berry is when you're doing something that requires a lot of power, you tend to do a lot of power-inducing exercises.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big...
Gwen Berry does not have the strength to compete in that competition at the Olympic level.
First of all, in my opinion, she should be not competing at all. If you don't like this country, then don't go and represent and try to get yourself...
Exactly.
Stand on your values, then. Don't be a hypocrite with your blue lipstick. Don't. If you don't like this country, then don't compete. But don't be a hypocrite.
Yeah, go compete for Trinidad and Tobago. Be on their Olympic team.
Go find a country that matches your values and do it there. Do it there.
You know, this is the deal with Gwen Berry. As I said before, okay? She's a mediocre athlete. She's not going to medal in Tokyo. She's just, it's not that she's, I mean, I'm sure she's in very good physical condition, but she does not have the strength to compete at the Olympic Games in that sport. So to make a living, she's trying to make a living as a race baiter. And she's already got some defund the police group sponsoring her. And that's what she's doing. In fact, when I went to her Twitter on Monday, at the top of her Twitter was her private email if you wanted to sponsor her. So this is just a ploy for her to make money. She doesn't care about any of these things. And if you asked her to cite for you the part of the Star-Spangled Banner that is racist, I don't think she'd be able to do it.
Probably not. But you know what she would be able to do? Magically produce an activist athlete t-shirt at the podium.
Yeah, she's got a t-shirt machine out there. Yeah.
Just poof, out of nowhere. It's almost like she planned it.
Well, you know, it's amazing to me that how we know that the political journalists are Democrat hacks. It really shocks me at how left-wing sports news people are, and I didn't realize this until Tebow went to New York and they were outraged. How dare you? You can have a rapist on a team, they don't care, but you got a Christian. And you see this from time to time, like this lady race car driver. She was a mediocre racer, wasn't winning anything, and she was making millions in endorsements. You know, the media, they love victims. Mediocre athletes and victims.
Let's talk about the quote-unquote president of our country. Once again, disrespecting our country by not only agreeing with her turning her back on the flag, but applauding her for it.
Yeah. And I love how they're trying to cancel out anyone who criticizes Gwen Berry. Well, if you have freedom of speech to turn your back on the anthem and the flag, don't you have freedom of speech to criticize Gwen Berry as they're trying to cancel people out who criticize her?
My mom used to say, Brian, if you can't take the heat, then don't get in the kitchen.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want to stand up there and throw your two middle fingers up at our country, then you know what? Man up and take the criticism and take the backlash that you deserve. Dan Crenshaw came out and asked to have her removed. And now, guess what? Today,
yeah.
So he's a racist.
Yeah, a one-eyed racist at that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what they're going to do. If they use that term so loosely, it's lost its meaning, racist. Disagreeing with someone does not make them a racist.
Joe Biden agreeing with what she did and applauding her for it is just another disgusting, disgraceful mark on our country. And again, yesterday at the ice cream store, not only did he do the creepy whisper, yesterday, what did he do? Went up and approached young girls.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what is it with, what is it with Biden hanging out at ice cream shops? The last time he went to one, he was talking to that young girl.
Brian, put the dots together. Ice cream stores normally attract younger.
Mm-hmm.
This is a.
I mean, if I were hanging out at ice cream shops talking to underage girls, strange underage girls, what would people say?
It would be everywhere.
As it should be.
How these mothers let him come up and creep on their kids because what? Because he's the president.
Well, I think what happens with parents, okay, that are in these situations when Biden gets creepy, is I think they're in shock. Okay, and that shock, sometimes people are stunned, they don't know how to react. And number two, he's got a detail of federal agents around him. What do you do? If I go to the ice cream shop with my daughter sometimes, right? We go get ice cream, and if some creepy old man started coming on to her, I would intervene. But if that creepy old man has a detail of federal agents guarding him that are heavily armed, that, causes people to pause as to what they're doing. I wouldn't be there with, no, I wouldn't allow that to happen. But no, I wouldn't go anywhere that I knew Biden was going to be at. There's no way in hell. No way in hell. And he said something inappropriate about the daughter of the Israeli the new Israeli prime minister was at the White House, brought his daughter with him. And Biden said, while it is technically inappropriate for him to bring his daughter, I'm glad he did. What the hell does that mean? And first of all, who are you to tell him that it's you know what? I think it's technically inappropriate to have a crackhead first son in the White House. Do you think Hunter has done an illegal drug in the White House since his dad took the oath of office?
Of course.
When these hardcore addicts like Hunter tell you they're clean, that means they're just doing blow and weed.
He's not clean. He's using cocaine straws to make art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah. All right, Andrea, take care. Thanks for the call. It's 7:30 in the morning. Oh, get this. Oh, yes, got an announcement from MyPillow. This is absolutely amazing. Okay, now, the MyPillow bathrobes, which I have, my wife have, 30% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE at MyPillow.com. Two big announcements on the MyPillow bathrobes. One, They have added new colors. They've added a few new colors, actually, to the lineup of MyPillow bathrobes that are available for both men and women. So take a look at that. And they also offer them in 2 different types. You can get light or heavy. You can get the light robe or the heavy robe. I have the heavy one. I'm going to order another one for the summer. 30% off, promo code Kane, the light robe, and they come in many new colors. So go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and these new colors, I think it's time for Steve to buy one because they have a color that Steve wanted. They have a color, I'm not sure if it's red or burgundy, but it's one of the new colors that they have in the MyPillow bathrobes. And Steve had been saying that he wanted one, this particular color. And I'd actually mentioned this to Mike Lindell's office. And I'm wondering if they added these colors, and this one in particular, this red burgundy MyPillow bathrobe, I'm wondering if they added it because I mentioned that Steve wanted one in that color months ago. I don't know, but go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, save 30% off the MyPillow bathrobe. You can also order by phone, 800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. All right, we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere, all right? Stay tuned.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget.
Steve Kane Show. Hey, Jeff.
Like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van. At the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops.
Hey, what? Tyler said your internet's not working? Why? What's the problem? Well, if the computer's not working, you just use your phone. Well, I need to know what you want to do. Do you want to come on now or not? I'm not there. I don't know, but you can connect on the phone like you're doing now. Just stay on the line you're using now. I mean, I don't...
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. I have the MyPillow slippers.
I can put you on... Yeah, I mean, are you ready now or what? All right, hold on. I'll put you on. We got...
And told us about his experience with the MyPillow My Slippers.
Brian, I have the MyPillow slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic slippers.
Really? Which ones do you have? Which style do you have?
The fur-lined one.
Oh, the slip-on fur-lined ones?
Yeah, inside, outside.
What is neuropathy, and what are the symptoms?
Well, the nerves in your feet start going bad, and it affects your balance, and it's painful.
So you're wearing the MyPillow My Slippers, which, by the way, 40% off with the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, and it's helped with your neuropathy.
Yes, it is. It's much. I have to wear slippers at home. I can't go barefoot or even with socks on.
Wow.
So I have to wear that. And I also have the MyPillow pillow and the MyPillow mattress topper and the...
That mattress topper is unbelievable, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
My wife loves it.
Oh, man. I know, they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by the way, when you use the promo code Kane at checkout, 40% off the MyPillow slippers, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with it. So it's great. Well, that's awesome. Order your MyPillow My Slippers 40% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com, or call 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, we are back. Steve has had a power outage at his home, so you're with us by phone today. You with us, Steve?
I am with you.
Okay, you'll be on the phone today, I guess. Since the power went out, that means no connection on your computer to reach us, but that's okay. All right, well, listen, let's go back to our phones. 1-888-GO-KANE. 1. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
morning, Brian. It's Jeff from the Ranches.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, just a couple of quick comments. Do you think that the coach has the ability to suspend her or kick her off the team, or is it?
Are you talking about Gwen Berry? Well, I don't know if she's not with the coach yet. No, they can't suspend. First off, if you're an employer, and you have some Black Lives Matter type who's dragging their feet at work, what do you got to go through to get rid of them? You know, could you imagine you've got someone that's got an international spotlight on them, and you kick them off? The coach would be in more trouble than if he inappropriately touched a team member.
That's true, and I'm expecting an apology, but not like the canned regular one that we've all come accustomed to. It's probably going to be something like, I apologize for having second and third place. So she'll get gold because they'll do away with all of the other places that people can.
Well, Gwen Berry gave an interview yesterday, and she's feeling the pressure because she said, "I never said I hated the country." So she walked that back a little bit. She just has a problem with the racist part of the national anthem that's not a part of the national anthem. All right, you take care. You take care. Oh, you know, Steve, you got to start watching Newsmax some more. Get off that One American News because Eric Bowling, he's filling in for Greg Kelly all this week at 7 o'clock. I watched his show last night. He was spectacular, Eric Bowling. They haven't announced what his time slot's going to be yet, so we don't know. They're kind of like easing him in. But it was, he called out Fox News by name. He called out Chris Wallace by name, called him a hack, a Democrat hack, pretending to be a journalist by name, even showed his picture on the screen. There's like a war going on between Newsmax and Fox openly. It's a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, so you should start watching. Eric Bowling, I haven't seen Eric Bowling. You know, they got rid of him on Fox in 2017. I can't believe it's been that long. And I don't know if he was, I remember liking him, but I didn't remember how good he was until I watched, he was on Monday and Tuesday, and I went back and I watched both shows, and he was so good. I mean, my goodness. I mean, it was, I loved it when he called out Fox News. Chris Wallace, like I said, called him a hack Democrat journalist pretending to be or a Democrat activist pretending to be a journalist. And then he did a whole segment on Fox getting destroyed in the ratings Saturday night by Newsmax because Newsmax carried the Trump rally.
See, you were worried about how that was going to play out, and I just said let the marketplace handle it, and they did. They're going to have to, they're going to have to do something to be competitive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the free enterprise system, nothing beats it.
Oh, competition is good. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Competition. But I've got my TV pretty locked in now to Newsmax. They've been shuffling things around over there. Well, today Trump's going to the southern border in Texas. Oh, you know what he's doing? He's going down there to meet with Governor Greg Abbott about this private funding that Texas is doing to finish the wall. That's specifically what the trip's about.
I love it.
Trump could raise enough money.
Yeah, it seems to me he's now getting involved in the issues. They can't keep him out. They really can't.
Yeah.
He'll get becoming involved with this thing that's going on in the Texas border. Everybody's so excited every time that one of the hosts, man, the morning show that I've been watching, it's just you can tell the anticipation, you can feel it in the air, and it's no more Mr. Nice Guy with Trump. I think he's going to come in and get very active, very active.
I've never seen a former president be able to command anything. And the conservative estimates are he had 35,000 at the Ohio rally. Some say 50,000. a former president, especially a one-term former president, can't get 12 people to come out and see them. Nobody cares. If they do a book signing, people will show up at the bookstore to get a book signed. No former president has ever had crowds like this, ever in history. It's historic, and everywhere he goes, and he's got the Saturday night rally here in Florida, in Sarasota, is going to be probably bigger than the Ohio rally, and that's gonna flip him out too. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name, caller? Hey, Mike, what's up?
Hey, do you think that Fox News is going to cut into their news when Trump gets off?
No, I don't think Fox is going to carry it Saturday night. Nope, I don't think they'll carry it.
He's talking today.
Oh, Trump's trip to the southern border? Oh, boy. I don't think they will either.
I know Eric and Pellegrino and Cincho, they've all,
the Newsmax people. Well, and when we say cover, we don't mean a mention. We mean like live coverage with a camera crew following President Trump on the border.
Oh, yeah.
People would come back.
Yeah.
They're going to do that today. They're going to do that, Newsmax. They're going to cover it live.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure he'll have a press conference. They cut, yeah. I don't think Fox will cover it.
I would bet
they will cover it.
You think though? You think Fox News live?
The word competition. It's all about competition. If they had made the mistake,
I don't think so, but we'll see.
I mean live. I mean carry it live. Break in regularly scheduled programming and have that Fox News sounder. Fox News alert, President Trump speaking on the southern border to reporters and carry it live. I don't mean do a highlight on Bret Baier in the afternoon, in the evening. No, I mean like carry it live. I don't think so. I don't think they...
That would be great if they cut into the 4 o'clock hour.
Yeah, Cavuto. So you think they... hey, Mike, appreciate the call. So, Steve, you think they'll carry it live?
Yes.
Fox News. All right, well, tomorrow we'll know.
This is setting a precedent for how they're going to handle things in the future, and they're not going to. Losing a weekend show like when we missed the speech over this weekend, that's one thing. But to set a precedent where they just turn all coverage of everything Trump's doing over to the competition, if they're dumb enough to do that, they're going to get murdered.
I think that they're colluding with CNN and MSNBC. I think they have an agreement not to carry him live, and they figure out of sight, out of mind, and they don't view Newsmax as competition. They should, but they don't.
When they sat down and went over the ratings from Saturday night, how do you think that?
Saturday night's a throwaway night. They figure that's a throwaway night.
Throwaway night?
That's what they'll say. Yeah, Saturday night means nothing. It's a throwaway. See, this is what they don't. They're very arrogant. Television news watching in the 24-hour cable news cycle is habit viewing. Once people switch over and when you turn your television over to Newsmax on Saturday for the Trump rally, and they say he's coming on at 8, for example, you don't turn your TV on at 8. You turn your TV on at 5 or 6, and you wait. And you wait for the build-up and the discussion and the interviews with the people on the scene. And what happens is you're changing their habit to watching something else other than you. But I don't think they view them as competition. I think they're that arrogant at Fox News Channel. Yeah, I think they're that arrogant.
You say that they learned nothing from the last weekend.
Correct. And they will report on Trump at the border. I don't think Fox News, CNN, or MSNBC will carry it live. And the reason they won't carry it live are two things. One, they're trying to cancel him out. But what he says is unpredictable. And they may do it later in a show showing clips, and they can control what part of it you get to see. If they if they carry it live, they can't control what their viewers are exposed to. So I don't know. I do not believe they will carry. Now let's throw this out to the listeners. Let's hear what you think. We're going to take our break. If you're on hold, stand by. But let's take some calls. And this is what I'm specifically saying. Not will Fox News cover it. They will report on Trump's visit. Will they carry Trump's press conference on the southern border today live? Live. That's the question. And will Fox News carry the Trump rally Saturday night live on Fox News? 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's K-A-N-E. And the number 1-888-465-2631. All right. We'll take our break and be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Now that things are opening up again, employers are hiring. Need a drug test before your job interview? Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs and get tested. No doctor's order needed. No appointment necessary. Just walk right in. No insurance? No problem. Because they offer the lowest prices on all their thousands of lab tests. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro, on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009.
Wesley, $5 super chat. Thank you. Good morning. I don't think Fox will even acknowledge the existence of Trump's visit. Wow.
Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, welcome back. Now, Steve has a power outage because of the weather at his home, so he's with us on the phone today. He couldn't connect on his studio. And, you know, we hear from Tom Laporta talking about a free roof inspection for Steve Kane listeners, which is very true. But I want to expand that a little bit. People are talking about getting buildings inspected now because of this collapse in Miami. If you are in a condo within our radio station's reach, or any type of facility you would like to be inspected, call Tom at Laporta Contracting. He can handle this for you. He's a contractor, not just a roofer, so he handles everything. Yeah, he does. And I was talking about this yesterday. Tom Laporta has a skill that is a very valuable skill in Florida. He has an ability to deal with HOAs, homeowners associations, like no one I've ever seen before. HOAs, they're worse than these school board meetings in Virginia. They're terrible. They're terrible people, HOAs. But Tom has a skill set to deal with these people. So if you're a member of an HOA, give him a call too. Have your building inspected. Everyone's talking about that today. Call him about a building inspection and make sure your building is safe. His number, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. All right, so let's go to the phones. And what we're talking about, President Trump's going to the southern border today. Will Fox cover it? Will they cover his press conference live? You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Brian and Steve. This is Dee in Newport Richie.
Hello, B.
D.
How you doing? It's Dee, yeah. Yes, so I wanted to tell you, I did catch the Clay and Buck radio show yesterday as President Trump was being interviewed.
Oh, yes.
I thought it was fantastic, and I also thought something was quite interesting. They asked him what made him go to the southern border today, and his response was that Governor Abbott had asked him, and so did the Border Patrol.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Yes, Border Patrol asked him.
Yeah.
He's very popular then.
Yeah, exactly. And also, another question he answered was, they asked him if he would run in 2024, and he said that the obvious answer was, I'll let you know the day after the 2022 election.
Yeah, I've been telling you that for months. See, I was right on the money with that.
Yes, you were, and I said strongly believes that he can get the majority in the House voted in, and also the Senate. If he...
Yeah. Now, what do you think about Fox? Are they going to carry his visit live today at the border?
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
No, I really don't, and I'm not sure about Newsmax. Did they say they were going to carry that live?
Well, they've been talking about how the Trump rally was a huge rating success for them, drowning out Fox and everything. So I'm assuming, yeah, they're going to cover it.
1.5 million viewers, on...
Then Fox, and they're not on as many cable systems as Fox. Fox is on 30% more cable systems than they are, some number like that, and they still beat them with, yeah.
And 1.5 million were watching the live stream, so that was 3 million. What about One America News?
Oh, I'm sure they'll carry it. One America News have carried since the 2016 campaign everything. They carry everything Trump does. Yeah, if Trump walks to his golf cart to take a swing, they cover it on One American News. They never miss anything.
And a lot of the general programming during the...
Yeah. Their problem is, though, their people during the day are just boring on One American News. Boring.
You know, to see President Trump getting 30 to 50,000 every time he goes out on a rally, you know how scary that is to the left. Scary, scary. So, no.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. And I'll tell you why. I don't know if they're aware of it. They don't follow Trump. It's not on the news that they watch. I don't think so. I don't think the Biden camp and these Democrats, I don't think they realize it. They don't, he's totally, they don't watch him. He's not on the social media. I don't think they realize how many people, CNN was there in Ohio, and they interviewed people in attendance, and they did a story yesterday. They showed some people there days after the rally, but the Democrats don't know that he's turning out 50,000 people. They do not know.
To cancel all MAGA. Why are we being deemed a terrorist? Because we're a threat.
Yeah.
There's too many of us.
Well, they still want to cancel him out. There's no doubt about it. But I don't think I think they believe that his following are fringe lunatics. That we're a fringe group. I don't think they realize that he's the mainstream guy still. I don't think they have any clue. I don't think they have, no.
In your perspective, do you think they will ever wise up?
No. I'll give you an example, okay? A few years ago, I was watching, I'm not going to say who this was to protect them from themselves, but I was watching Oprah Winfrey. And they had in disguise this swinging couple that was on. And I recognized, the voices sounded familiar. And I called Steve, and I said, Steve, who is this? And I put the phone up to the TV, and you said exactly who it was. It was somebody that was known at the time in broadcast circles in South Florida. And they went on national television talking about their swinging lifestyle. And I said to you, why would they do this? This is crazy for their business and everything else. And you said they live in a swingers bubble, and everybody around them thinks swinging is normal since their whole, they lose touch with reality. That's how it is with these Democrats, with Trump. They're in this liberal Democrat circle, and they don't realize his popularity. They just don't. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, by the way.
It's a good thing as long as it lasts. You think you're going to go right through the election?
If you're a liberal, you get your news from CNN and MSNBC. And if he's never there, out of sight, out of mind.
Another thing that you said today, too, that I thought was very, very telling and very interesting is that you checked out the list of the people that were at the Capitol breach and found out who was arrested.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me tell. I learned this from Newsmax yesterday. They keep the mainstream media and the Democrats and even the Republican establishment, Cheney crowd, they call the Capitol breach the insurrection. They've arrested about 500 people so far. Not one of them has been charged with insurrection. Most of them have been charged with misdemeanors. No one has been charged with an insurrection charge. So if there's no insurrectionist, how can you have an insurrection?
Story for Newsmax.
Yeah.
How about that?
They made a big deal about this throughout the day yesterday. I guess they stumbled upon this, Newsmax, and all day long, even through, I stopped watching after Eric Bolling and put on Tucker, you know, but throughout the day, all the way through Eric Bolling last night on Newsmax, they made a big point. No one has been charged. You cannot have an insurrectionist if you have no, you can't have an insurrection if you have no insurrectionist.
There you go. So why do you think they arrested these people? Is this just a show?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I think what happened is they miscalculated, you know, and Tucker Carlson's exposed the truth about what's happened on the mainstream media level with Fox News, with the FBI and all this stuff, and things are not going according to their plan.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Dee, take care. Thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Hi, Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, Joellen. So last night I was watching the Jesse Kelly show. I'm not sure if you know him. He took over for the Bucks. He was one of the guys that filled in for Buck Sexton. Anyway, he's got a great show on. And one of his Twitters showed that the so-called insurrection in the anti-Kavanaugh protesters when they stormed the Hart building. So they showed a whole bunch of that there. So I guess that could be an insurrection, but it wasn't. And what else was there?
Well, what Merrick Garland had said, you know, the Attorney General that Obama wanted to put on the Supreme Court, he was asked about this in his confirmation hearings, and he says, well, Antifa attacks government buildings, but they do it at night when they're not open for business, so they're not disrupting government. January 6th, they were disrupting government while it was open, so that makes the difference between vandalism and an insurrection. I couldn't believe he had the nerve to say it.
That was during the day. And I don't know if you caught Debbie Wasserman-Schultz crying. She was fake crying about the condo collapse. I don't know if she was addressing Congress yesterday. I'm not sure. I caught the tail end of it.
What was she crying about in particular?
Just about the people and what was happening, and just like.
Well, there was a lot of politicians, use that sad tragedy to do some electioneering, so she wasn't alone.
Well, that area, that street in particular, is one of the most heavily Orthodox Jewish neighborhoods I've ever been in. When I went down there, I felt like I was walking the streets of Israel, because it was Saturday, so everyone's going to service, and the guys, a lot of them are dressed like rabbis and stuff like this. And so I guess Debbie's gotten wind of that, so she's trying to exploit it.
I could tell a fake cry or fake.
It's a pretty sad thing, and I was hearing yesterday that there's there's a lot of cell phones ringing under the rubble. Yeah. Well, people are calling. People call they're calling. Yeah. Hey, listen, appreciate. Oh, Steve, there's a new phone scam going on. I want to tell everybody about. Okay. Remember there was there used to be a phone scam going on that the IRS was going to arrest you, and then there was the bailout. You've gotten this one. You get the calls that one of your kids is in jail and they need you to bail them out. Yeah, and you have so many kids and grandkids, you couldn't, it could be true because you couldn't track them all down. There's a new phone scam involving the FP&L. And you'll get a recorded call first, because people picked up on these scams because they have Indian accents, And people are like, hey, wait a minute, the IRS, you don't talk like, Gandhi here. And so you get a recorded voice telling you that Florida Power and Light will be shutting your electricity off within the hour unless you pay your bill, and then you press 1 or 2, and then you get transferred to pay your bill. It's a scam. I've gotten a call twice already. It's the latest. It's a new scam to me. Yeah, and I don't know if they're doing it in other states, but they're very specific about being from FP&L, that your electricity is going to get shut off. So beware of that. All right, let's take our break for the top of the hour. It's 8:01. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to Champagne Automotive, and I gotta say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. It belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I gotta say that this man fixed the car. It's running like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Hi guys, it's Dr. Matez. Now that I've joined the Biostation West Delray, we're not just about making you feel good, we're all about making you look good too. Our practitioners are well trained and experienced in the use of Botox, fillers, platelet-rich plasma, microneedling lasers, as well as any modality out there. We even have a Miami plastic surgeon
Steve Kane Show.
for the big jobs. We can now make you look
Hey, hold
good
on.
to match the way we make you feel. So if you want to feel good and look good, call us at the Buyer Station West Delray at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893. And for a limited time only, if you're a Steve Kane listener, 10% off all cosmetic services. And if you happen to be a Steve Kane cruiser, we're going to give you another 10%.
What is the name of that show on Showtime? John Voight plays the father, where the guy is like a cleanup guy for like rich people and athletes. It was on Showtime for many years. A very good show. The name of the show is the guy's name. What's the name of that show? I can't remember the name of the show or the main actor. You guys know what I'm talking about? Ray Donovan. Thank you. I asked for a reason. It's going to be a part of the next commercial. Okay, you'll hear it.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show,
Thank you very much, Ray Donovan.
Dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE 1. And now.
All right, third hour has begun. It's the last day of June. Steve has had a power outage at his home, and his studio couldn't connect, so he's on the phone. You had me do something that I did not want to do, but I did it. And you have me do, like, you make very strange requests of me sometimes, Steve. And I'm kind of like the Ray Donovan of the Steve Kane Show. If you guys watch Ray Donovan, have you watched Ray Donovan? Oh, you'd love Ray Donovan. John Voight's in it. You would love it. It's a TV show on Showtime. Steve has me do all these dirty things and strange things that he doesn't want to do. But you had me do something I felt kind of embarrassed to do. But you had me call up Mike Lindell's office and ask them to manufacture some MyPillow bathrobes in a particular color because you wanted one in a particular color that they were not offering. And I told you, I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'd feel very arrogant doing that and everything else. And I have the MyPillow bathrobe, as does my wife, 30% off with the promo code Kane. But you bugged me to do it, and I did it. I finally did it. I was just to get you off my back. So I'm talking to Mike Lindell's office, and I said, hey, and I told them, and I couldn't believe this, Steve. I woke up this morning, and they have the robe in the color that you wanted. that red burgundy color MyPillow bathrobe. They just now started offering it. Just now, just today. They have some other new colors too. They've added several new colors to the MyPillow bathrobes. But the red, I'm not sure if it's, I think it's burgundy, but you know, it could be red as well. It's more of a, it's a darker red. So I guess it's the burgundy that you requested. And it's kind of got the color that you would expect a smoking jacket to be in. But the red burgundy is the Steve Kane MyPillow bathrobe. And they have some other new colors as well. But they actually did it. Can you believe? Can you believe it?
I'm going to put it in the order later today. If you go
Okay, well, make sure that you use the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and get 30% off. But and I'm not joking. I know people think this sounds ridiculous, but no, Steve was bugging me, and I said, Steve, I'm not going to call Mike Lindell's office and tell them what to make. And he kept bugging me, and I said, I finally did it. And they have, not only do they have the robe in several new colors, but they have the Steve Kane burgundy robe.
What the colors are?
I don't know all of them, so you guys will have to go there and look. And also, they've made another change too. Not only have they added a whole bunch of new colors, including Steve Kane burgundy, they now have two types of robes. They have light and heavy. So the one I have is the heavy. I'm going to order a new one in light, you know, because it's summertime here in Florida. So 30% off with the promo code Kane at checkout. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 800-716-4879, 30% off with the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. All right, good morning, caller. You're on the radio.
Morning, Brian. This is Bill from Seminole County.
You sure? You had to think about that.
I was a city commissioner about utilities. I know that in our county, they never call. They either shut it off or they send you a notice.
Oh, you're talking about the scam call? Yeah.
You know, no matter what the utility is, I'll bet you that's true all around.
Yeah.
Call.
You know, there's a guy on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel called Scammer Payback, and he's a computer expert, an IT expert. And he sets up these scammers from India, and he hacks into their computers and things like this, and live on YouTube. It's called Scammer Payback, and he takes on all these scammers. I guess it started with that IRS. You know, the IRS one was there's been a warrant issued for your arrest by your local police department. I guess that's how they operate in India. But yeah. I couldn't believe the IRS call, right? The first time I got it, it was before it was well known, before it was publicized. I guess I got it the early days, and I didn't know it was fake, and I thought, well, that's odd, you know. So they put me on the phone with the IRS representative who barely spoke English and had a very heavy New Delhi accent, and they barely spoke English. And I just asked them a couple questions. I was like, you know, well, how do I file my taxes? You know, single or joint. I didn't tell them. They didn't know. And then they started yelling at me that I was going to be arrested. So I hung up, and they called me back, and I didn't take the call. They called me back, and then they started text messaging me. Can you believe? I mean, they get really nasty. I know. I couldn't believe they were text messaging me. Just have your phone ringing 500 times. There's another one, too, about the vehicle warranty. I get that call about 80 times a day. And see, what happened is, this is where the phone scammers, they've upped their game. Okay? That IRS scam got exposed, so they've done two things with their new scams. One, they have a computer call you, so it doesn't have, like, the foreign accent, because that's a tip-off. And the other thing, it rings from local numbers and local area codes. It comes up like when I get the warranty calls, the auto renewal on the car warranty, that scam, and same thing with the Florida Power and Light scam. It comes from a 561 area code, and I live in the 561. It's like a local number. It seems to me, if I was that knowledgeable, you know, if I had the intelligence they do, that I could make even more money legitimately. You know what I mean? Because they've got this whole telephone system and computer system, and they somehow gather all these phone numbers, and they do it regionally, and then they've got fake numbers. It just seems these are very smart people. Couldn't you make more money legitimately?
When I get calls for 407, I answer them because I've got caller ID. So if it's unavailable or a scam, I don't answer it. But I have doctors, and doctors don't always call from the offices.
Yeah, I don't answer my phone unless I know who it is, typically. Unless I'm expecting a call for a particular thing, I just don't answer my phone. You know, I did for the Florida Power and Light call, you know, because I was expecting a call about something or other, and it caught me off guard. But I don't, if I don't know who it is, I typically don't answer the phone. Hey, listen, what do you think? Is Fox going to carry Trump's visit live today at the border? But do you think Fox will carry it? Why not? Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, what they tell themselves, they don't tell themselves, Steve, that we're dishonest, corrupt, hack journalists. They tell themselves President Trump at any word, if we carry him live, he could utter a word that would cause a violent event. And to carry him could possibly incite violence. That's what they tell themselves.
A number out to call for them to cover certain events and see how that works.
Well, this is what Fox doesn't get. This is not. Listen, Fox News went on the air in 1994, and no one watched them until the 2000 recount. And during the 2000 recount, they were the only cable news outlet that was properly reporting the recount in Florida in 2000. And I was at that vote counting room every day because they were doing them in Broward County, first in Plantation, then downtown. And I happened to live a couple blocks away from where they were doing the first counting, and I went down there every day. And William LaJeunesse from Fox News, you see him now, he's like in California for Fox. He was here in Florida covering the recount. And between reports, I would see conservative people go up to him and thank him. Thank you. I just found out about you guys. You're doing great work. And that's how they became number one, by being what Newsmax is, an alternative source. And now they've gotten that number one status. They've gone mainstream, and they're kissing off those of us that made them number one. And if it wasn't for Tucker Carlson, I'd be checked out. I support Tucker. Okay.
When this thing first hit the fan, with the in this
Trump. Well, let me give you some info. Okay.
They did that once, and their whole audience. Okay.
Yeah.
And what was their reaction when they lost their whole audience?
They've made some program changes, like getting rid of Juan Williams and yeah. But they still didn't carry the rally. And let me share with. I just went, Steve, to the Fox News website, and to me, the biggest news story of the day is Trump going to the southern border, right? Because this is not an isolated event, because he had Ohio on Saturday, the border today, Florida on this Saturday, and here's all the stories. The first headline is on the pathetic Olympian who turned her back on the flag. They got an article on the New York City mayor's election. An article on Howard Stern, a mom sentenced for sexually assaulting children during sleepovers. That's it. There's nothing here about Trump's visit to the border today on their website. Nothing. And they even have lesser stories down here. Nothing. They have a story on Lindsey Graham. They have a story on Lafayette Square, a missing child. They have a story on the ratings decline of CNN. But there's nothing here, there's not even a reference to Trump's visit to the southern border today on their website. Not even a mention.
All I can tell you is the campaign is young right now, so you don't know how it's going to play out over the period of time. But they cannot afford if you're right and that's the decision they have made. They made a horrendous programming decision. They will get hit immediately with the consequences. Because I think the same thing is going to happen as happened last time.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to start getting you and the group that you were leading or whatever it is were so pissed yesterday about Fox.
Yeah.
But it's going to be that in Spain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And by the way, what's going on now, a version of that is going to be replayed during the campaign.
Yeah. Yeah. And Fox did something very strange yesterday, too. There was not a single mention that I saw on Fox's coverage, and I even saw a story this morning that pointed this out. Fox News has not done any reporting on this NSA Spygate scandal against Tucker Carlson, even though there were developments with it yesterday from the White House and elsewhere. Tucker talked about it last night on his show, The Updates. But no one on Fox News has done any reporting on the NSA Spygate scandal against Tucker Carlson. And there's a division over there.
I think you're overblowing the importance of that spy scandal. I think the people, what's come out over the last couple of years is it's a routine thing for the government to listen in on these.
Now, this is different. He did a specific story on the breach and then on General Milley, and then this happened. And he has a whistleblower who's come to him with evidence of it. Yes.
So where's it going from here?
Where it's going is the White House lied. They asked Jen Psaki about it, and she did not deny it nor confirm it. And then Tucker last night put in a Freedom of Information request with the NSA that they haven't heard back. No, there was the White House. He has documents and a whistleblower, Tucker Carlson, that as a result of his reporting from 2 weeks ago on the breach, this happened.
Who is that?
Well, go public and report it. It's a big scandal. Biden is spying on him.
It's not a big scandal. I think you're wrong. I definitely think I was listening last night to that whole thing, and I think we learned during these phony investigations of Trump over his first term in office that this stuff is routine. There's a whole bunch of it.
Well, it's routine against journalists that actually report news, like Cheryl Atkinson. If you're just reading the government press releases, you don't have that problem. Listen, let's take our break, okay? It's 19 minutes after the hour. We'll take our break. Our number toll-free 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
You need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
It's here, the hot weather. It's in the mid-90s in the middle of the day, and that's what the actual temperature is. The heat index, much higher than that. That means your air conditioner is going to work harder and harder, driving up your electric bill. And on the line, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to save you big, big money on your electric bill. Tell them how you're going to do it, Scott.
Hey, Brian. Well, we do it with the radiant barrier insulation and making sure that none of your air conditioning ducts are leaking into your attic. But I have Rebecca on the line with me, who's a longtime Steve Kane listener, and we had the pleasure of going up and doing a whole attic package for her at her house on Wednesday of this week, and we put all new ducts in for radiant barrier and all new insulation. And she just wants to tell you how her experience was.
Good morning. I wanted to let you know that this morning, first of all, the people that came out, his crew were very, very polite, and they did the work. It's a very difficult job to go up in an attic, pull out all the old ducts, come in and put in all new ducts, extra additional ducts to make my system work better. I'm in the construction industry. I'm an architect, so I'm familiar with what the cost should be and how much time it takes to do everything. And let me tell you, I was very impressed, and my attic looks like a spaceship up there with all new ducts. They took out the metal duct that was insulated and leaking on my ceiling, and they put in flex stuff, which is what we use now in the industry. But let me tell you, what I paid for the entire package should have cost just to remove the old ductwork and install new ductwork, and I got everything for less than what I thought it was.
Well, that's amazing. And when Scott from Cut My Kilowatts brings that radiant barrier into your attic, it pays for itself, because what it does, it cools off your ceiling, cools off your attic, keeps that hot Florida heat that's well over 100 degrees in your attic off of your air conditioning ducts, which means your air conditioner works less to keep your house cool and comfortable for you, which means you have lower electrical bills. It works. Listen, guys, give Scott at Cut My Kilowatts a call. His number's listed at SteveKaneShow.com, as is his website if you miss it. His number, which rings directly to him, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. That's Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, we're back. Steve's on the phone today because he had a power outage this morning, so his studio could not... the power's back on now, isn't it? Oh my goodness, you're in the dark? Well, the sun's up. No. Oh, that means no air conditioning? Oh my goodness. I hope somebody's on it.
Get on it after the...
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Unless we can fix this, we're going to have the same setup tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, phones still work. We can do it by the phone. I don't mind that. I just can't imagine no air conditioning on a... Well, it is kind of cloudy, going to be rainy today, so it won't be as hot as normal. But, Trump had 2 rallies planned for Saturday, Florida and Alabama, and, they canceled the rally in Alabama. Listen to this. I tell you, these people. The Alabama rally that Trump was going to have on Saturday, he was scheduled to be the keynote speaker on the USS Alabama Battleship Memorial Park. They've got the battleship there. People come there. The U.S. Alabama Battleship Memorial Park Commission Chairman Bill Tunnell told NBC News that the Republican Party contacted them worried about the patriotic event turning into a partisan political event, and it was canceled. So this Alabama rally of President Trump's was canceled because the Republican Party got it canceled. When this story was first reported, people think, oh, you got some liberal guy running the park. No, the Republican establishment got the Trump rally canceled. Unreal. This is what we're going up against.
It'll be a battle.
Well, this one in Sarasota is at a fairgrounds again, like in Ohio. They won't be able to cancel that one. But I just found out during the break that the Republicans got that canceled. I just assumed it was some commissioner who's a Democrat. But the Republican Party contacted him to cancel it. These Republicans, I don't think they understand what they're doing. If they continue to act this way, we're going to get to a point where the Republican voter base, which is the Trump base, are not going to, when Trump's out of the scene many years from now, and DeSantis and Noem, they're not going to be voting for these guys. They're not. The Republican Party, they seem prepared to lose elections in the future just to be purged of MAGA. I'm shocked that the Republicans got that Alabama event canceled. Shocked. And they did it openly. That's what I'm telling you, Steve, about Fox. They are out of touch with reality. They don't realize how popular he is. I think Fox News believes that they're number one, and the conservatives will not got nowhere to go. And well, let me give out the number: 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. And it says right here. It says here, the USS Alabama Battleship Memorial Park Commission Chairman Bill Tunnell told NBC News that the Republican Party contacted them worried about the patriotic event on the battleship turning into a partisan political event. After the request was made, then there was contact with the Republican Party. The Republican Party contacted us, and it became apparent that this was going to be a partisan political event rather than just a patriotic event. The commissioners then spoke to an attorney, and boom, they canceled Trump. They're trying to bring back the COVID restrictions, right? You've heard this? They got the Delta variant and all this crap. One of the reasons they're bringing back the COVID restrictions is to stop this summer of Trump, because this is the beginning of Trump's reemergence into society, right? Saturday last week in Ohio was his first event, his first rally since leaving office. His second rally has been canceled in Alabama. His third one Saturday night in Florida, in Sarasota. The border visit, they're working very hard to cancel out everything he does, whether it's not covering it or making sure that it doesn't happen. And that's what they're going to do every step of the way. And it's a tough thing to combat, because what they do, like what they did in Alabama, they let the event get organized and planned, and then they come in at the last possible moment and cancel it. So we're probably going to see a lot of Trump events, them attempt to cancel them. He's going to have to really... But we got to call him out. We got to call... if this was some Democrat that did this, canceling this Alabama Trump rally, I'd be okay. But this is the Republican Party that did this. I mean, Trump's going up not just against the Democrats and the media. We've got this civil war going on in the Republican Party. The establishment just can't let this go. Listen, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. When we get back, we'll take some calls. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over.
Yeah, did you hang up?
954-977-9445.
Huh? Yeah, I went to the break. Okay, all right.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. The This is Brian Craig. I'm in studio with Debbie from I Will Advisors. She has an incredible new service to tell you about called I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates and how are you helping seniors?
Well, Brian, over the past few years of owning a Medicare insurance agency, we've learned that there's a huge need for Medicare advocacy, that a lot of people don't have a child or a spouse that can assist them with their medical needs, and that's where we step in.
There's a lot of things that seniors need help with. Prescriptions, doctor's appointments, things like this. How do you help them with that?
If you're having a problem at the doctor's office, having problems scheduling an appointment in a timely manner, we can step in. If you're having issues at the pharmacy, having problems refilling a prescription, or feel that you're being mischarged for something, you can contact us and we will step in. Even if you're at the hospital and you feel like you're being neglected, we'll be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course. We'll assist in anything to help you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that and even help you if you're in the hospital. Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com.
Well, thank you, New Jersey.
iwilladvocates.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Steve is with us on the phone today because his power went out at his house. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. There's a story today. I can't stand Kevin McCarthy. I really can't. The House has voted to remove all Confederate statues from Congress. They're replacing a bust of a former Supreme Court Chief Justice who was a Democrat and a Confederate, and also Jefferson Davis and everything else. I lost Steve, so I'm going to keep on trucking solo because Steve's having problems there with the power outage. So the House of Representatives runs the whole building. They're removing all of these Confederate statues, okay? And here's how the story is read in the headline. House votes to remove all Confederate statues from Congress and replace a bust of Chief Justice Roger Taney with Thurgood Marshall, despite opposition from 120 Republicans. What they leave out of that headline, and what's really lost in the story, and Kevin McCarthy, although he mentioned it as allowing this to happen, is, are you back with us, Steve? You back with us? Okay, all right. I thought they shut your phone off too. But what they're doing by removing all of these Confederate statues is every statue they're removing, every bust they remove, is a bust of a Democrat. And what the Democrats are doing, what Nancy Pelosi is doing, and Kevin McCarthy is allowing this to happen, is the Democrats are causing a race problem in this country because the race issues have all been resolved. They lost a lot of black voters to Trump, to the Republicans. They're trying to win blacks back by, racial division, which is what they're doing. That's why they're celebrating this pathetic, mediocre Olympian, Gwen Berry. who's not going to meddle in Tokyo, you know. What the Democrats have realized is one of the reasons they're losing blacks to the Republicans is blacks are learning that the Democrat Party is the party of slavery and Jim Crow and everything. The reason they're removing all of these Confederate people from the House is to wipe out their own racist history. You know, every monument they take down is of a Democrat, and what they're doing is wiping out their own history so blacks in the future don't know that the Democrat Party is the party of the Klan and the Confederacy. And Kevin McCarthy, he did mention, he said all these statues are of Democrats, but that doesn't do it. That's just him going through the motions so that he thinks he's satisfying us. He should have opposed what they're doing, and he should have had a press conference and said that they're taking them down because they don't want you to know about their racist history. And so Kevin McCarthy, like the rest of the political establishment, are working with the Democrats to advance the Democrat. I don't think Kevin McCarthy wants to be Speaker of the House. I really don't. I think he wants to be the minority leader after the next election. I don't know, Steve. I mean, this guy's a real snake.
That's crazy.
Well, for him to become Speaker, it would have to be a MAGA majority. And Kevin McCarthy is Republican establishment, the same people that stopped the Trump rally in Alabama on the battleship.
Control, no matter what. I agree that a lot of them have problems with Trump, but there is no way that Kevin McCarthy is going to do anything to deliberately cause Republicans to lose the House. It's not going to be. They've had too bad an experience here, not being in control. It shows you how weak you can be.
Yeah.
Control back as quick as they can.
I don't think so. Because, I see, if the Republicans come back into the majority in 2022, it's because of Trump and the MAGA people. And Kevin McCarthy doesn't view them as Republicans. He wants to purge, I think Kevin McCarthy wants to purge the Republican Party of these MAGA people.
Shakes out.
Well, we will. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But everything that I see the Republicans do is to screw Trump and screw us here. Like this thing with the...
But as the primaries, look, we're coming into primary season. As the primary season develops, and if you if you had to bet on it, you would bet that Trump will do very well.
Yes. Yes.
So when Trump comes in and performs, as we know he will in the primary, they're going to only carry it so far. At a certain point, when it becomes obvious, we're right on how the voting public is going to accept Trump. They're not going to be able to stop it. They'll make a couple half-hearted attempts in the early going, and when they see the size of the support, they're backing off. Just like Trump wants to see the size of his support, they want to see the size of theirs.
So, Kevin McCarthy took Marjorie Taylor Greene off of her committees, and everything else he's gone along with, and she's traveling around with Trump at his rallies this summer. So it tells me that Kevin McCarthy doesn't want Marjorie Taylor Greene around. I think Kevin McCarthy would be very happy if Marjorie Taylor Greene lost her seat.
McCarthy has the same support, Republican support that.
No, but they have. What they see, Kevin McCarthy's playing both sides of it. He's pretending to be with Trump while undermining him at every opportunity. He's a spy, He's like a spy in the MAGA camp, and he has to go along and pretend. But this thing in Alabama that got the Trump rally in Alabama canceled was the Republican establishment. So he works with them. That's why he took Marjorie Taylor Greene off those committees. He could have fought that. They didn't take Omar off the committees when she mouths off about Israel and says anti-Semitic things, But he's caving. I think Kevin McCarthy would rather be the minority leader and run the party than become speaker and have to answer to Trump. All right, well, let me give out the number. Our number is 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. See, what's going on, like we were talking earlier about Fox not carrying the rally, Paul Ryan being on the board of directors is why that is. The Republican establishment don't care about Fox's ratings, so they're keeping the rallies off the air at Fox. They're doing all these little sabotage operations as often as they can.
I don't know if you feel the same way I do about Trump's chances, which I see as, I think he's to the moon. I think he's going to have I think he does have huge support, and they're only going to, it's only going to go on as long until McCarthy realizes.
Well, he knows, but he's trying to see. I think Kevin McCarthy and the Republicans have made a decision to lose the next two elections, and they figure if Trump loses in 2022, taking back the Congress, and loses in 2024, MAGA will fade away. It'll be over. And if Trump comes in with a sweeping victory in the midterms, that solidifies his power, and the establishment is out. You know? And Kevin McCarthy didn't get to where he is by not being Republican establishment.
And Donald Trump didn't get to where he is not knowing what he's doing.
But they control a lot of the process. All right, let's take some calls. Let's see what you guys think. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name?
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Steve. Sorry you lost power at your house.
Yeah, Steve lost power. Yeah. Hey, Gary.
You were talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene, and then I think, if McCarthy does not want the speakership, I think the best person for a speaker would be Marjorie Taylor Greene. So, because of the fact that she stands up for everything, she probably might have to learn a little bit more decor, as they say, the way of doing business throughout, as, like a political court and all that, but I think she would be the best one to replace McCarthy as the Speaker of the House if they take it back in 2022, which we should, and be there for 2024.
Oh, but that would be awesome, and I would support that, but this is the thing. The Republican establishment still have a lot of control over the process. That's how they were able to get this Trump rally canceled in Alabama. And
and I was unsure of if that was fake news, because I seen that yesterday, and I'm like, this can't be right. This might be fake news. So I didn't post nothing on that because I didn't know for sure whether or not he was going to be.
No, it's on Trending Politics is what I shared today, and they're very credible, and it's pretty well sourced. Yeah. Yeah, Trending Politics is they're very well sourced, and if they're reporting that, I'm going to believe it. And it comes as no shock to me. The only reason they're not able to cancel his event here in Florida is because he's so popular in Florida.
The other thing is with Fox News, I think Fox News is really making themselves, they'd rather sacrifice viewing than hold President Trump, because, you got the one rat, Paul Ryan, who's a part of that, and I think he wants to try to make it look like there's a complete blackout on it.
That's right. See, remember, Paul Ryan disinvited President Trump to an event in 2016 after Access Hollywood. And see, they don't care. Paul Ryan, on the board of directors of Fox, doesn't care what Fox News' ratings are this Saturday night. He cares about Trump being canceled. So, and it's like, I think if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one there to hear it, and all that, to make a sound is what they're doing.
Right, and that's why I see that Newsmax that the ratings were out of the roof, and everything with views and everything else. But with Fox, I don't literally watch Fox on YouTube, but I get it from I watch Tucker on another platform. But even with all the views that they don't have on TV or on YouTube, it does affect them in the long run.
Yeah.
Newsmax and One American News, or not One American News, Right Side Broadcast keep doing as they're doing, they're going to be almost above Fox completely, and I'm okay with that.
Yes, I am too. All right, Gary, thank you for the call. All right, we'll take a break, and when we get back, it'll be time for the Gold Report. All right, you're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Steve via phone. I'm Brian. We'll be back right after this.
AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the Sole Authority today, 954-597-7060.
The Steve Kane 2022 MAGA Cruise is a go, leaving January 21st on the Celebrity Equinox out of Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale. Join Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, for 9 nights cruising the Caribbean. We will stop in Grand Cayman Island, Bonaire, Curacao, and Aruba. Reserve your cabin right now and call Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot, 561-244-5779, 561-244-5779.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, and we are back. Steve is with us via phone today, so our connection's not the greatest with Steve because of his power outage, but we have on the line William Youngerman with the morning's Precious Metals report from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated right here in Boca Raton. How's it looking today, William?
Giving us a great buying opportunity on the precious metals as they continue to move slightly lower, but not touching yesterday's lows so far. Yesterday we saw gold close at $1,761.10, which was down $17.30, trading in a range from $1,750 to $1,779, but the low yesterday $1,750. Silver was down 35 cents, closing out the day at $25.74 the ounce. Platinum closed down $24 at $1,062, and palladium closed down $2 at $2,612 the ounce. This morning, gold down another $3.60 at $1,757.50, still above yesterday's low of $1,750. Overnight trading in a range from $1,753 to $1,765. Silver up right now at 6 cents up 6 cents at $25.80, while platinum is down $15 at $1,047. And palladium is up $14 at $26.25. Platinum looking like a really good buy here, as is silver and gold. But the high for the gold in 2021 still $1,963, with the new low being met yesterday at $1,750. Major support for gold still around $1,740 the ounce. So that's pretty much.
Wow, that's amazing. That's some great stuff. Now, listen, at William Youngerman's store, everything is in stock for immediate delivery. And also, you hear Steve talk a lot about this. William Youngerman doesn't just sell the metals, he purchases them as well. So if you have something made of the metals that you want to turn into money, or turn into cash because the metals are money, or you want to turn into a coin or something, stop by William Youngerman, get an appraisal on the spot. His number, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, williamyoungerman.com. And the address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca Raton, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care. All right, we are back. I'm Brian Steve Kane here. You know, it's just really, I think it's just upsetting to people, Steve, when we see, we have the most popular Republican of my lifetime, you know, since Eisenhower, and he won the war, right? And we keep seeing conservatives undermine this very, very popular Republican, and it just gets discouraging and upsetting. You know, and it's upsetting to people for good reason. We're never going to see, you know, another person with the popularity of Trump.
I don't know what you base your pessimism on, but everything I see with Trump in this pre-warm-up period that we're involved in, I think Trump has shown great strength among the voters, and when he takes a little break, as he has recently, he always comes back strong. He hasn't really had a disappointing appearance yet.
Well, you know, I'll tell you another thing about Trump too. Yeah, so, you know, because he comes from like private business, I think Trump is at his best when he has opposition against him like this. I think that, you know, that's like that, you know, we were talking about competition.
We agree. So what is your discouragement based on?
Well, I'm not discouraged about Trump's chances. I just get upset watching Republicans working with the Democrats to try to undermine and stop them. That just ticks me off.
The process.
Nah. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Good morning, caller. Oh, hey, Wheezy.
Hi, I was just stumped when you said you didn't understand why they do what they do when people don't like Trump. You just don't realize we don't like him.
Yeah, but you're not a Republican.
Huh?
But you're not a Republican. We're talking about Republicans undermining him.
Well, they're starting to not like him, too, because of the things he's doing. Why is he holding rallies if he's not running for something?
No, he is running. In fact, the rally on Saturday night, he had a rally because there's that rally on Saturday night in Ohio was really a campaign rally for a congressional candidate who's running against a Republican that voted to impeach President Trump. So these are not Trump rallies. These are typically for congressional candidates in these areas that he is backing.
So who is he backing in Florida?
I'm not sure who he's backing in Florida. We'll find out on Saturday night.
So why is he doing it?
I just told you.
Self. He only talks about himself the whole time he's up there.
Well, that's right.
About the candidate. He gives the candidate 5 minutes, and he talks about himself the whole other 9.
Because all you need to know from a candidate is Trump says vote for them. That's all we need to know. And then we don't want to hear from them.
It's how he lost.
No, no, excuse me. Today he's going to the southern border in Texas. He's going to go to the real border, unlike Kamala Harris, and talk about the problems there.
He totally fixed that border while he was in office.
Oh, that's a good question. Because the Democrats, for a couple of years, stopped the funding for the wall going through and delayed it.
But their heads and got the money for the funding.
But it takes time to build, and he didn't have enough time.
But then the main part, and do you see how they're just coming right up over the fence?
No, they're not coming over it. They're coming through they're coming through, excuse me, they're coming through the incompleted, they're coming through the parts of the wall that have not been completed yet.
the program where they show they have this metal ladder that they hide under the sand. They put it up against the fence. People pay for them to do this, and they go straight over the fence.
If you think Trump is not doing well, why are you so hysterical?
Yeah.
I'm not hysterical. You know, sometimes you just assume that I'm hysterical. I just have a loud voice.
No.
I'm not hysterical.
You're hysterical. You're hysterical.
No, I'm not.
You can't even know.
You were hysterical the last time I talked to you.
See, she knows. You're right, Steve. She knows that Trump's winning. She's upset about it.
Oh, people are out, and y'all need to realize that. We don't want to see them. That's why nobody... Only people still obsessed with Trump is y'all.
You sound very emotional about Trump. You sound very emotional.
We just don't understand why you sit around praising this crazy...
Because he's the greatest. He's the greatest president we've ever had.
Not the greatest.
And that's why you're
not.
Who is? Who's greater?
He's not.
Who's greater?
You're a delusion.
Well, tell us who the greatest was then.
There is no great. I don't have no Pacific greatest. I don't have.
Oh, he's not the greatest, but you can't think of one that's better. But you can't think of one that's better?
Loser we ever had in there.
Ah. Now she's singing while she's talking. All right, Wheezy, take care. On that note, let's check in with Richard Pearl, whose show Richard Pearl on Politics airs weekdays at noon on this radio station. Hey, Richard Pearl. I saw that. Maybe he listens to your show. Mm-hmm. Yeah, now listen, we're short on time now. The clock is ticking, but you know, Richard Pearl's show, Richard Pearl on Politics, is on our radio stations weekdays at noon. And one thing you can take to the bank, whatever Richard Pearl is talking about today, the politicians will be talking about in a year. That's how ahead of the game Richard Pearl is. It's amazing. His store, Simply Natural, located right here in the city of Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip on the east side of University, open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9. And the number over there, 954-741-4045. Have a great show. We'll be tuned in, Richard. Okay, now, Steve, we're almost out of time. You want to sign us off real quick? Yep.
We'll be back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., one way or the other. Be sure to be with us till that time on behalf of our technical director, Tyler Kane, my partner, Brian Craig, #1
Must want me to do something.
And I'm your silly Steve Kane. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless America.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, guys, listen, thanks for watching. Before you go, make sure you like the video. Liking the video helps get this video shared to other people that like this kind of content. All right, so don't go without liking the video. If you're watching on your television, just pick up your mobile device, go to your computer, you like the video. If you're on a mobile device, close out the chat. like the video, and there you go. All right? I got to take off, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you.